So hello, everybody who has just joined the room. Um, as you can see, we are on Zoom right now, and I will just change this. There we go. Um, so please bear with us as we figure out everything happening. Okay, there we go. So thank you everyone for joining. This is a session hosted on Zoom, just for the fact that we want this to be as interactive as possible, so that people have the chance to also come on, discuss with Anne-Claire, ask questions, and also get real-time feedback. So we do encourage you to keep your cameras on so that it's as engaging as possible. But in the meantime, please do stay on mute for now. As you know, we're going to have a lot of people in the session, so thank you for understanding. And so while everybody is joining us, welcome to this very special virtual workshop on how to integrate AI into your 2025 finance strategy. My name is Luke, and I help run the CFO Connect community. We have a bit of a tradition at CFO Connect, and that's asking people in the chat where you're joining in from. So please drop in what city you are tuning in from. While you are dropping in that, we're happy that over 550 of you have signed up for this session, showing how pressing your needs are to get under the hood of AI and really understand how you can leverage it for you and your team's benefits. We actually just ran an end of year survey, and AI implementation was the #1 challenge our members said they're facing currently. So with that said, this is one of many sessions we will be working on with the topic of AI in mind. Next year, in 2025, we'll definitely be also bringing you guys experts from around the globe who will help to level up your knowledge on AI. And we'll be starting this month with Anne-Claire, who's based in France. So I will be handing over the mic to her soon. Just looking at the chat, I see a lot of Paris, Geneva. I see Bucharest, super cool. Another Geneva. I see Barcelona. So welcome everybody. Really happy to have you guys. We're about 87 people in this Zoom, probably the biggest Zoom I've ever seen in my life. So super cool. So while we are still getting ready to get started, as a reminder, if you want to make this engaging and interactive, please keep your cameras on. But again, mute yourself for now. We will have a dedicated Q&A session where you can not only ask your questions, but also come on screen, ask questions with Anne-Claire, and get real-time feedback. If there's something that you want to chat about, you can also drop a question in the comments section. And also for your benefit, this session will be recorded, and we will send you the recording via email after the session. So without further ado, I will share my screen and get things started. So welcome to the session, all about AI and how to integrate it into your finance strategy. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. This session is hosted by CFO Connect. And CFO Connect is a community of over 12,000 finance leaders across the globe. We host events like this. We have a private Slack group where finance execs can connect with each other and get to know each other, ask questions, etc. We also do white papers, reports on things like compensation, on top tools. And this community is hosted and sponsored by Spendesk. Spendesk is a 7-in-1 spend management solution built and designed for modern finance leaders, helps finance stay in complete control and have visibility over everything that is spend related. So enough with the intros. Now for the agenda for today. We will pass over the mic right after this to Anne-Claire, who is our speaker today. We will then launch a poll question to really get a sense of what is top of mind for finance leaders in terms of AI and what's really going to be the thing that interests you the most. Anne-Claire will then have a quick presentation of about 20-25 minutes talking about how to implement AI into your roadmap, quick wins and use cases. And then lastly, but not leastly, we'll have an interactive Q&A where we'll invite you to also come on stage, ask questions to Anne-Claire. And yeah, so without further ado, I will stop sharing my screen, and Anne-Claire, over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. So I will share my screen. Okay. Is it working well? Everyone can see my screen? Okay, perfect then. So thank you for joining today's session. My name is Anne-Claire. I am the founder of FineUp 360, which support SMEs in their growth with part-time CFO services and also AI training for finance team. So I have more than 10 years of experience in finance. I work in a big corporation, PwC, L'Oréal, AMF. I also work in scale-up. I will talk a little bit about it. I work at Choco. I'm also a repeat entrepreneur because I created Les Apprêtés, which was a platform for renting eco-friendly clothing. And now with FineUp 360. And what led me to create FineUp 360 is at Choco, I was in charge of the finance for the French entity. And then I took on a group level role. And this is where I had my first AI related mission. So as Luc was saying, let's begin with a quick poll question. So the question is, what's your biggest barrier to implementing AI? Luc, if you can share it with everyone. I don't see if everyone can see it. So we let a little bit of time for everyone to answer to the poll. Okay, then. Oh, I see that the results are still changing. Luc, can I comment? Do you think it's okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let's go ahead. So 37% think that do not see the benefit or the return on investment of AI. I think the main reason of that is because you mainly see use cases for marketing. Everywhere on internet, you can see how to generate movies, images, but you do not see so many use cases for finance. That's great. What's good news is we are going to see today some use cases. So I hope you will see some of the benefits of integrating AI in your strategy. And also, yes, so AI's value become clearer with targeted use case. So let's see. And 32% of you also answer that it's due to limited skills or training. So I will end up the poll. So also good news is that there are some practical way to overcome it. So perhaps you can identify some AI champion in your team and start to share some knowledge internally. Or you can nominate also AI champion who can receive advanced training and share with others. Or another solution is to participate to training tailored to finance team. And if you want to know the other results, so for 15% of you, it's related to time constraints, which is not a surprise for finance team. 13% of you, it's related to data privacy, and only 5% of you is due to a lack of leadership support. Okay, So, oops, I forget to show that. So let's continue. I want you to imagine your finance department of tomorrow transformed by AI. So this transformation shifts the focus from manual number crunching to strategic decision making. So now real-time financial data replaces static monthly report, and the forecast continuously updates. The month end close, which used to be a real marathon for you of manual reconciliation and check, is now a smooth, almost invisible process because AI monitors transaction and flag only what need attention. Compliance and fraud detection are now proactive and not anymore reactive because AI scans the document for any inconsistencies. So in this AI-powered finance department, you have entirely new roles that have emerged. For example, let's imagine an AI automation analyst that will focus on improving efficiency and impact. And now you have to manage a team of AI agent and human. So this shift is as big as when Excel was introduced in the 70s. So back then, the auditors went from doing everything by hand on paper to using spreadsheets. So it completely transformed how they work. And today, AI is exactly bringing the same kind of change. So it can take over repetitive tasks, it can save time, it can let teams focus on higher value. But here's the issue. There were a McKinsey report stating that only 7% of finance team are using AI regularly. So finance is falling behind other departments. And to move forward, the finance team needs to implement a clear AI roadmap. And this is where we arrive at our topic, how to build an AI roadmap for finance. The objective is really to show you a step-by-step roadmap in order to help you implement AI in your 25 strategy. So previously, as I was saying, I was working at Choco, and I had a mission there, which was to improve the performance of the finance team thanks to AI tools and also no-code tools. So just to give you more information, to give you more context, so Choco is a German unicorn. It's a food ordering platform that connects restaurants and suppliers. And we were a team of 15 people based in 5 different countries. So in France, in Germany, in UK, in US, and in Spain. And my first objective was to have like a global overview of all the tools we were using, of our processes, and of course, everything was not harmonized across countries. So this brings us to the first phase, which is the initial assessment. So the step 1 and the step 2 will really depend on the size of your company, your knowledge of the processes, etc. But step 1 for me at Choco was the initial overview. So the idea is to have a broad overview of your processes, of your challenge, pain point, and also the idea is to start exploring what people want to do with AI. So what I did is I interviewed finance team members to understand processes, tools, also to list their challenge, their frustration, and to start identifying how AI could eliminate these different pain points. What I suggest also is if you have more time, because we wanted to do the things, to implement AI very, very quickly. If you have more time, that's better to organize workshop or brainstorming session so you can uncover aspiration for AI adoption, and you can also ask the team for their challenge, pain point, etc. Then your second step is to define clear objective. So when you implement a project like this, it's really essential to know the direction you're going. So you need to define final and overall objective in order to guide the AI implementation. So at Choco, our overall objective was to automate manual tasks, to increase efficiency of the team, also efficiency of the processes. And we also add sub-objective. So let's say it's kind of the OKR. So you need key results, which are really measurable. So here I put some example of the one we had at Choco. So to reduce the month-end close time from 10 to 5 days, to automate financial reporting, to eliminate 80% of manual work, and to cut invoice processing time from 3 days to 1 day. So I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do with AI. Then once you define your objective, the idea is to assess your data and to map the key processes. To map the key processes, you can use tool like Miro, for example. And the idea is really to conduct a data audit to assess the quality of your data, because AI to work well needs clean, accessible, and organized data. But the good news also, if you don't have that, you can use AI also to help you clean your data, make it more organized, etc. And then you should map your key processes, the workflow, the dependencies between all of it, to make sure to have like a seamless integration with AI solution. I think also depending on what you want to achieve and depending on the size of your company, this is the right moment to involve the IT team. And now let's see the step 4, which is you need after to assess your team's knowledge and availability. So the question you should ask you is, does your team have AI knowledge? If this is not the case, so then train your team, and perhaps you should outsource if necessary the projects. If your team has the knowledge but is not available, then outsource the project. And if your team has the knowledge and is available, that's perfect, then you can assign role and start the pilot. I will show you the initial assessment template that I use. So I will comment it very briefly. If you have questions, do not hesitate at the end of the session. So here you can add a function. So it can be department, FP&A, accounting, or it depends the level of implementation you want to do, can be a region or a country. Then here you will describe your process, sub-process, and task. I don't know, like revenue, invoice, and create an invoice. The tool you are using today, and then the idea is to identify if this task is time consuming, if it's manual, if it's subject to error, and if it's recurring. So if it's a one-off, you won't take time to optimize it. But if it's like something that you do on a daily basis that is time consuming, manual, and subject to error, I really, really advise you to use AI to do something, to solve your issue. Then here you can describe your pain points. Here is the action recommended. And here you will assess if it's easy to automate, if it's complicated or not to integrate AI in this task, and the level of priority. You can assign an owner, etc. And here you will track it with your initial metric. For example, I don't know, you spend 4 hours on that task. Your objective is to spend 30 minutes. And here you will write down all the result tests. Let's continue. So now we arrive at the second phase, which is the pilot phase, which is kind of a test and learn one. So the idea with that phase is to pilot and measure results. And what I recommend is really to start with a small project to test AI effectiveness. And the idea is to then gather data on its impact. I recommend not to implement or use tools that require 6 months to roll out, but more to identify quick win and to start by that. So this will allow the finance team to see immediate results. And I think it's really a great way to push adoption without having to wait for an entire finance transformation. At Choco, so we launched the pilot with the French entity because as I was in charge of the French entity previously, it was easier. And the goal was to show that we were able to save more than 4 hours per person per month in less than 2 weeks of implementation. It was a success because we saved more than 10 hours per person per month. So we started to roll out our project, which is the phase 3 scale. So here the purpose is to, once the pilots show positive results, the idea is to guide your team to expand AI usage across more function or across, I don't know, like more country, more department, etc. And one of the key success factor is really to train your finance team, is really to equip your finance team with essential AI skill and best practices by organizing internally, if you have AI champion, for example, or enrolling them in AI training session. One other important thing as we are in finance dealing with really sensitive data is to establish clear guidelines for data confidentiality. So they know what they can share, what they cannot share with AI tool. At Choco, we organize learn and development session. I organize learn and development session. So the first one was about presenting the use case that work well and also some quick wins to the team. And it really gave the motivation to everyone to start implementing solution in their own team, in their own country. They were super reactive, super excited, and it really helped expand and scale the AI solution. Now we arrive at the phase 4, which is to optimize. The idea is really to monitor the ongoing impact of AI and to ensure by, for example, organizing monthly or quarterly review, it continue to deliver value. Because as you know, like it's changing very quick and every day you have new functionality, new tool, etc. And of course, keep you updated on any new functionality AI tool and continue to improve the implementation of your AI strategy. Now I suggest to dive into some real-world AI use case. So what I did is I categorized in 4 main areas what AI can do for the finance team. So according to me, AI can help you in your communication and reporting, can help you automate and organize. So you have AI and also no-code or low-code tools. Can help you, can train you, can support you, and can do a financial analysis and strategy. So what we are going to do is I will give you some example for these 4 different areas. And then we will dive into one real case for each of it. So let's start with communication and reporting support. So for example, AI can help you write an email. So it can be a reminder for an unpaid invoice or a post-meeting follow-up email. It can help you draft a memo, a procedure, a report. So it can be whether it's an audit report or T&E policy, for example. Write a meeting summary, translate a text, summarize and analyze document. And this is only few examples of what AI can do. So let's see how AI can help us summarize and analyze a document. So I took the example of Notebook LM. I don't know if some people know this tool. Okay. So Notebook LM, it's an AI-powered tool coming from Google, and it helps you summarize and understand information from any document that you add. So I will show you the kind of document that you can put inside, and it can answer question, highlight key points, summarize data, connect IDs across the different materials that you will provide. So this addresses a good barrier in finance because it addresses the barrier of hallucination or not always knowing the source, because you will directly put your document into this AI tool. So let's start with an example. So here, let's create our first notebook. So you can upload any kind of source, like you can upload PDF, audio. As it's a Google tool, you can also connect it to your Drive. You can add websites, YouTube video, copy-paste text. So I took the example of a CFO that do not know anything about CSRD directive and wants to know more about it. So let's upload our source. So I got a report from PwC. I know that I can trust the source. And I want to have also, I also find an interesting report from Deloitte. So let's add this source also. And I also find on internet some very interesting article, one from AMF, which is the regulatory in France. So let me add a website link. Okay, and one last source is, okay, I found a very interesting video coming from BDO Netherlands, but it's in Dutch and I don't speak Dutch, so I will directly add it there. Up. Okay, and now that you add all your sources directly to the tool, you can ask your question. But if you don't have any idea on the question you want to ask, you also have suggested question in here, or you can ask Notebook to directly create a FAQ, a table of content, a timeline, etc. Let's see. Okay, so here you got your results. So we ask the main objective of the CSRD directive, and you see that you got a very good summary of it. You can also, all the numbers that you can see here, up, it's the source. So you can see directly where the information is coming from, in which document. And as you can see, I uploaded document in French, in English, and in Dutch, and everything is translated. Let's ask another question. So you can, for example, ask the question only from one document. So I want to know, according to PwC, what challenge do companies face in implementing the CSRD requirements? Okay, here we are. So you get a summary of the challenges companies are facing in implementing CSRD, and you can see that everything is coming from PwC report, as I asked to Notebook LM. You can also add, for example, your own reports and ask Notebook LM what improvements should your company make to ensure full compliance with CSRD. Also, you know, your team, also, you know that your team does not have time to come to a presentation on this topic, and they won't read the presentation that you will send to them. So Notebook perhaps as a solution for you, because you can generate a podcast on CSRD. You can customize it, so you can also say, okay, you will focus on this specific topic or this specific audience, etc. And then I won't show you right now because it takes 1 or 2 minutes to process, etc. So don't want to lose time. I have other things to show to you. But yeah, this is perhaps a solution to your problem, because you can create any podcast on any topic you want. So for those who have time constraint, I think that's a great solution. Okay, then let's go back to our presentation. Let's see automation and organization for efficiency. So AI can also help you create checklist templates for an annual audit or for monthly and close, to draft slide for a presentation. There are specific tools for that, to optimize automating financial workflow, or to assist you with writing automated scripts. And this is what we are going to see. Okay, so, oops, I want to have access to that. Okay. Up, Google Scripts, up. Okay. Okay. So, you know, in finance team, we are spending a lot of time with data formatting, data crunching. I am not a developer. I do not know anything about coding, but ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM tool does. So I use ChatGPT, and I will show you how ChatGPT can create a script that will modify this file. So, for example, this is an export, and I do not want any row with like a 0 or with an empty cell, and I want to add 2 columns, one for debit, one for credit, not just one with the amount. So what I will do is I will go on ChatGPT. I will select, I have a paid version, but I will select this one because it's better for everything related to coding. And here is the script. So ChatGPT is like a new employee or a trainee coming to your company that's not exactly who have read everything on the internet, knows everything, but if you don't give him any context, for sure you won't have like an accurate result. So give ChatGPT or give any LLM tool as many context as possible. So there are some way to write good script, but the idea is to start with giving him a role. So you are a developer, you are an expert in Google Sheet script. So here is a file to modify. I will delete that part. We won't upload the file. So you will see that I don't share any confidential information with this test. And here I ask him to write a script that will delete all row where the cell in column C is 0 or empty, to add debit and credit, and to put the amount within those 2 columns. And here ChatGPT is creating the script for you. What's great also is ChatGPT is helping you because he's writing down what he's doing. For example, here, clear the entire sheet and replace with filter rows, add debit column and credit column. So you have a translation because you're not supposed to be a coder. And then you go back to your Google Sheets. It is working exactly the same way if you are working with Microsoft. It's like the language will be different. It will be Python, but it's working exactly the same way. And also, if you don't know where to go, you ask ChatGPT, okay, where should I put my script, my Python language, and it will give you the information. Okay, this is a live demo, so I hope it will work because most of the time when we are doing a live demo, there is always an issue, but let's see. And sometimes when you see an error in here, you can directly copy paste it to ChatGPT and say, okay, please debug it. And he is able to do it. Oops, sorry. I have too many tabs open. Okay, so now you can see that you don't have anymore your row at 0. You don't have your row with an empty cell, and you have your debit and credit columns. So I wanted to show you other things in this file, but as I want to show you as many use cases as possible, I will continue. But for example, you can ask ChatGPT, okay, please modify the format. I want to have 2 digits as for column G and K. And you can also ask ChatGPT to write a script that will replicate this step every month or every time you will edit something in your file. Okay. Now about training and support for finance team. So here you can ask ChatGPT to help you with all the tools that you want, Excel, Power BI, like it knows everything. And for example, I don't know, someone from your team that knows well SAP is living on vacation, so you don't have anyone to extract data from SAP. Just ask ChatGPT or ask you LLM, Claude, etc. They will do it for you. They will explain you the step-by-step logic in order to get your export. They can help you with financial technical skills, improve your English, conduct research, and you got a very interesting tool, which is the vocal AI coaching. because you can directly discuss with ChatGPT. So let's take a very quick example. I will change the version. And now you can use the vocal mode here. And you can brainstorm with ChatGPT, or you can ask him to challenge you. So let's do a very, very quick test. I won't let him talk for a long time because we do not have so many times. And I will use a script as I do when I write a prompt. So you are a CFO of a small industrial company. Your finance team is composed of 10 people, and you want to convince the board to invest in AI tools for finance automation. Give me 5 short arguments to use.
Creating a compelling AI roadmap for finance teams involves several key steps. Here are 5 short arguments to consider. Enhanced decision-making.
Okay, thank you. Now I want you to simulate pushback. Everyone can hear well. Okay. Now I want you to simulate pushback from the board.
Great job on the presentation. To make it even better, here are a few points.
Okay, this is live demo. So sometimes it's not working very, very well, but so most of the time it's working very well, and it will give you like 5 short arguments to use. It will also simulate pushback. So that's really, really great when you want to brainstorm, when you want to prepare you for a presentation, when you want to train yourself. I don't know, I want to train myself in English, for example. That's a perfect tool to help you. Okay. Now, the last one is financial analysis and strategy. So as I was saying, can help you brainstorm ideas, improve profitability, processes, for example. It can analyze a problem, conduct analysis, create financial model, forecast and analyze data. And this is what we're going to. I can hear myself. Oh no, that's okay. Okay, so again, we are going to do so with Luc. Do you think I have enough time to show that?
Yeah, there's nothing inside, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, if it takes 2 minutes, I think that
Yeah.
would work fine. Yeah.
Okay, I will try to be as quick as possible. So this is the analyze use case. So I propose to see, so how ChatGPT can help in providing analysis and recommendation. So let's take a use case where you're a CFO of a SaaS B2B company that sells software for financial consultants. And here you just receive your data for the H1 in comparison with the budget. You also have a focus on Q2, and you want to make recommendation for the H2. What I will do, so I will, and imagine you can share data with, there are other ways to do without sharing confidential information, but imagine you have the right to share data with ChatGPT because you have like a paid plan, an enterprise plan. Okay, oh no, this is not that, okay. Okay. So you said to ChatGPT, you are the CFO of a SaaS B2B startup, etc. You do like the prompt and you explain as much context, you give as much explanation as you can to help ChatGPT understand what you want to do. Now you upload your file, you launch the process, and you wait ChatGPT to generate answer. What you have to know is as every LLM, every time you are asking something, every time you are using even the same exact prompt, the answer will always be a little bit different. Okay, so just to remind you, I asked ChatGPT to present the key point, the opportunity, the challenge, and an action plan for the second semester. And here we are. And for example, if you want to go to go deeper, you might request to ChatGPT six for example, in this actionable plan, you can ask ChatGPT, okay, give me for operational efficiency, give me 6 actionable solutions in order to improve my results in the H2. You can also ask ChatGPT to draft your slide, for example. Okay. Some quick wins before we arrive at the Q&A session. So for those who never use any LLM, just connect to it and start asking questions. Really start with basic one, and then you will identify pain point and try to solve one routine task, and you will really see very, very quickly the benefit of using AI. As I was saying, fine-tune your prompt because your LLM, ChatGPT, Claude, etc., Mistral for France, they are like a new employee, or anyone you will ask if you ask anyone to do something for you, of course, you will give as much context as possible in order to obtain the best results you can. So, like, give any detail on format, for example, or the much information you can give. The more information you can give to LLM, the best it is. Invest in training in order to familiarize yourself and your team with AI and discover use case. Involve your team also. Encourage them to experiment. And share the result they get, and also experiment consistently. Like, try to dedicate a regular time each week in order to explore new feature, new tool, new use case, etc. So here are my suggestion. So bringing AI into your 25 finance strategy does not have to be complicated. The idea is really to start with small, impactful step, build confidence, and then grow from there. Because AI is really here to help your team save time, reduce error, automate everything, and unlock new opportunities. Now, if you're wondering how to take those first steps, or you do not really know where to start, that's where I come in. So my training sessions are specifically designed for finance team with real world use cases and tools you can start using right now. So you will learn to write the best prompt, to create your own AI assistant, and to discover AI and automation tool for finance team. So let's see how we can make AI work for your specific needs. So feel free to scan the QR code and to book a discovery call with me. And you can also add me on LinkedIn. I will launch a newsletter in the coming week with information on new tools, on use cases, etc. And now I suggest to move on to the questions. And I will start sharing my screen. Okay.
Thank you, Anne-Claire, for that. Very, very in-depth, a lot to cover in a little bit of time. Obviously, AI is such a broad topic that it's also hard to always cover everything in one session. So I hope those who watched got a lot out of it. We now want to open it up for Q&A. So I think what's nice about being on Zoom is that any of you can now hop on screen and unmute yourself and actually ask a question or even share your own experiences. And ask Anne-Claire, her thoughts on your current situation. So wanted to open the floor up. You can either ask a question in the chat. I've already seen a few questions come in, so we will start with those. But if you want to ask a question, or if you also want to come on screen and ask a question directly, let us know, and we'll make it happen. I know that I saw a question from Luis Gonzalez, who was asking if anyone knows how to use AI to make charts in Google Looker or Power BI.
Yes, you can use also. It's more about Python coding. So you can use ChatGPT to create chart, for example, on Google Colab. And you will you use ChatGPT in order, as I was showing, for example, to use ChatGPT for writing a script. You can also ask ChatGPT to write a Python code in order for making like a forecast and graph, etc.
Cool, thank you. There's a good question from Yana, which is asking, how did you reduce the month-end closing days from 10 to 5 with AI in a more concrete way?
Yeah, so we had a different issues. So for example, we had an external service provider who provide every month a payroll report, and it was clearly not well tailored. So accountants spend a lot of time like booking manually all the entry for everything related to payroll. So what we did, we used Google Script also. So we used ChatGPT and we created a script that was able to automate almost 100% of the booking entries of the payroll, for example. So it was a task that took 1 day approximately per accountant per country. And after that, like using the script took only 5 minutes, and then you do a final check, because of course you have to check the final results. This is one of the things we did. We also use the tool, I don't know, I imagine that most of the people know this tool, Zapier. You have like Zapier, you also have tool like Make. This is an automation tool that can connect different tools together. So for example, every month we were sending a report to our GM, and we were able, thanks to Zapier, to connect like our Google Sheets to Zapier and to our Gmail address. We were also able to send reminders automatically. What we did also is creating batch of invoice. We were using the tool Evolise, and we were able, thanks also to a Google script, to create like batch of invoices that we were able to upload once instead of creating manually every invoice. So I won't explain all the everything that we put in place, but this is some of the very, very quick example without going into a complete finance transformation. Yeah.
Cool, thank you, Anne-Claire. There's two questions that I'll combine into one, which is asking, what are the top repositories in terms of AI for business? So this one person's asking, right, they're using ChatGPT, Notebook LM, Microsoft Copilot, but there's so many more out there. I would ask you, Anne-Claire, what are your favorites to use in a finance setting? And also on the back of that, there's another question, which I think is a good question, is where do you go for your information on all things AI? Because we know the industry moves super, super fast.
Yeah.
So how do you stay up to speed on everything AI related?
Okay, so for the tools, so you have to know that you have, like, for example, AI native tool, you have AI power tool, and you have like really LLM also tool. So I think so. When I think about AI power tool, for example, it's Spendesk that will allow you to save a lot of time. Or so you have these different kind of tools. So if you implement, I don't know, Penny Lane for accounting, Spendesk for expense management in your company, you will already save a lot of time. If you don't want to change your actual structure, architecture, and your tool, you can use. I think the best one is ChatGPT, to be honest. Because they are creating a lot of model and there are a lot of updates. So yeah, I will suggest to use ChatGPT, a paid version of it. Regarding the fact to stay updated, to be honest, that's quite a challenge. If you do not have so many time, use Notebook LM, like to put all the newsletter or the podcast that you follow, you put it on it and you ask, okay, what are the best use case? Please, please share it with me. But I subscribe to newsletter. I follow podcasts like FP&A Today, for example. One of the many podcasts that I listen. I also follow people on LinkedIn, and also I did a lot of research because of the project I had at Choco, and now also with discussing. When I discuss with companies, you can also discover new use case and trying to find solution, and this is where you discover new tool and you discover new solution also. So I think if you start to list also your pain points, you will also identify the best tool for that fit for you and the best solution for you.
Cool, thank you, Anne-Claire. So I know that we're a bit after time, so we'll take one more question. I did want to say that we will be dropping in a survey to gather your feedback to make sure that we're also, building the best experience you can. So you'll see that drop in the chat shortly. And I also wanted to say a big thank you to those who are on camera. So Neil, Gonzalo, Jesse, Renaud, Maria, thank you so much for being the courageous ones to be on camera. So just wanted to recognize you guys. And Rizwan, I see you as well. Thank you for the wave. It's nice to see your faces as, when we're doing these webinars, it's nice to see people's faces. And thank you, Matthew, as well. I see people are now popping on screen. So thank you, everybody. To wrap things up, last question from Rizwan, actually, which is more about, this is quite a big and broad question, but what is the starting point for finance digital transformation in terms of AI, right? Like how do you go from 0 to 1, right? I think that's the question from what I understand. So do you have any like 3 or 4 tips there?
Yeah, as I was saying, I think just start with one of your pain points and just discuss your pain points, brainstorm with an LLM. Like you go on ChatGPT, you say, okay, I'm facing this kind of issue. What could be the solution? And then you will see that brainstorming with ChatGPT can really help you solve your issue. So I think that will be my main advice. Just start discussing with it. Also train your team because it's changing a lot, and it's also very, very new for the finance function. So just like choose 1, 2, 3 AI champion and you send them to an advanced training session or even train your entire team. I think that's also one of the key solution.
Cool. Thank you, Anne-Claire. I think that's a nice way to wrap things up. Thank you again to everybody who joined the session and took time out of their day to listen in. As I said, we're really going to be trying to get you guys ahead of the curve in terms of AI. It's moving very, very fast when it comes to finance and in general. And we want to make sure that we're equipping you with the information, knowledge, resources that you need to be successful in your careers. Please have a look at what Georgina, my colleague, just dropped in the chat. It's a quick 2-question survey to get a sense of, are we creating cool events? Are you getting value out of it? Because this helps us also to create the next events to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. A few final things. So CFO Connects, we host these on a regular basis, and you can expect at least once a month we'll be hosting these larger scale webinars like this. The recordings will be shared. Matthew, good question. We will share the recording of this session. We will also share the slideshow that Anne-Claire shared, as well as all the links, templates that she linked out to during her session. And I think that was everything I had to say. Yep. So that's it. Again, thank you, everybody. I hope you had a nice time, and we will see you probably next year. So with that, I'm wishing you all a happy holidays, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Neil. Bye-bye.